Okay, good afternoon. Today we are with the one and only TANI Polansky. He related to Jake Polansky that did couple of months ago, and we're going to start off by playing one of his songs.
So destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know. Singapore has just completed the violence and situation right here. Host summer gatherings outdoors rather than inside. Guys, you everywhere. Yeah, little blessing that's around me, but I see you learn. Oh, but sometimes it seems like you may not get around. That's when I look deep within where your own love is found. The sun listens on the coolest breeze they ride. Shine on my face, but just go to building drive by. But sometimes also so clear to see. The voice calls out. Oh,
Okay, where do you grow up and where do you live now?
So I grew up in Woodmere, New York, and I lived in Ramat Beit Shemesh for a few years when I was growing up, and now I live in Oakland, California.
Why did you move from the greatest place in the world to LA?
Well, I don't live in LA. I live in Oakland. Oakland is the Bay Area, which
Uh,
is near San Francisco. So that's about 7 hours driving north of LA. A lot less of a religious Jewish community for sure. But which place do you think is the greatest place on earth?
Five towns.
You think the five towns is the greatest place on earth?
Yeah.
I think it's the second greatest
Because
place on
I
earth.
live there.
What?
Because I live there.
So would you say Eretz Yisrael comes second, or Eretz Yisrael comes third?
No, second.
Second after the five towns? Okay, I can respect that. I will say the five towns has David's Pizza and Eretz Yisrael does not. So it's
Dave,
definitely a point for the five
Dave
towns.
is number one. If
What
you
is?
Dave's Pizza is number one.
I agree. That's what I see. Yeah, I am 1,000% with you. Yeah, but I left the five towns to live here because my wife and I got offered a job to run NCSY out here in the Bay Area. So we do outreach for Jewish teens and families all around the Bay Area near San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland. And I also got accepted to a graduate school to do a PhD in psychology here.
Wow. Where do you go for elementary school and for high school?
I want you to guess.
Yeshiva Dachit.
He's good. I went to Yeshiva Dachit Torah for elementary school, junior high school, and high school.
You went to Dachit? Wow. Me too. Dachit is the best yeshiva in the world.
It's an amazing yeshiva. I have a lot of Hakaras Hatov to Rabbi Bender.
Yeah. Rabbi Bender is number no one.
What did you say?
Oops.
Oh, there we go. I see you now.
Yeah. No one is like Rabbi Bender. Rabbi Bender is number one.
He is one in a million. That is for
Yeah.
sure.
Um, where did you go for base? Where did you go to base Medrash and did you go to college?
I went to a yeshiva called Yeshiva Ziv HaTorah. Well, they would say Yeshiva Ziv HaTorah in Yerushalayim in Ramat Eshkol, also known as Brazils. It's run by Rav Shmuel Brazil. Have you ever heard of Rav Shmuel Brazil?
Yeah.
Shmuel Brazil is he's an incredible composer, and he composed many of the songs that I'm sure you know. Shalom Aleichem Malachei
Yeah.
Sharetz Malachei Elyon Mimelech. He composed that. He composed Moda'ani, Uval Tzion. He's amazing. That's where I first started writing music. His yeshiva is amazing. And so I was there for a year and a half, and then I went to YU in Washington Heights. I was there from 2016 to 2019. I started smicha there, and then moved out here. I'm still finishing smicha at YU, and I'm doing graduate school at a school called Palo Alto University.
Wow. And what at what age did you no, what did you do after college?
Well, after college, I decided to go back for more school because I love taking tests. So I'm still in school. But
Why why would anyone like taking tests?
I don't know. You tell me.
No one like taking tests.
I
No
don't like
one.
taking tests, but I like learning things. Learning things is the best. Learning things helps you to understand the world in a different way and to understand yourself in a different way. It's very important. So I love to learn. So that's why I went back to school. But that's not my job. My job is I run NCSY out here in the Bay Area, and NCSY is it's Kirov. So I
Hold
run
on,
Shabbatones and
we're going to get up to that. At what age did you start singing?
when I was 18.
Oh, 18 you started singing. How many albums do you have out now?
0.
Zero albums? Why?
0 albums. I'm still working on my first one. Well, hold on. Do you consider a song to be an album?
No.
Okay, so no, I have no albums out, but I'm working on my first one.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
Um, what is your favorite song of all of your singles?
US card questions, Yehuda. Um, of all the ones that I've released or all the ones that I haven't released?
Let that you release.
I would say my favorite song of all my singles is probably Father. I love Father.
Uh, Um, what do you do when you're not performing?
I don't spend a lot of time these days performing. So I work, I'm in school, I have 2 kids. Baruch Hashem. One of them is 2, one of them is 8 months. She's sleeping on the couch right behind me. And I I love to make coffee. I'm very into coffee. And hmm, I play a lot of music. I play piano, I play guitar, I listen to music. I love to drive and listen to music.
Um, um, are you coming out with a new song? Or
I'm working on an album.
oh,
There's
are
another
coming out with
six songs, 6 songs in the pipeline. Stay tuned.
a um? At what age did you start performing live?
Ooh, you ask very good questions. I don't know. When did I start performing live? Mm, like my first concert?
Um, when did you start um performing live, like for a audience?
Um, I would say when I was maybe 19 or 20, when I started YU, my first performance was I started doing kumsitzes in YU. I used to play for people there.
Um, who did you get inspired by to start singing?
Hmm. Well, my cousin Yaakov Chesed, my cousin Jake, was always a big inspiration of mine. I used to listen to his music when I was a kid. I thought he was the coolest person in the world. I still think he's the coolest person in the world. You can tell him I said that.
Yeah.
And my there's a lot of singing in my family. My family, everyone loves to sing. So I grew up singing with my family at on Shabbos, and that was always a big part of my life. Rav Shlomo Carlebach was an inspiration of mine, still is. Um, and his work and what he's done, what he did, and what he accomplished was very, very important to me. And I started singing. I was inspired to start singing professionally because a friend of mine, whose name is Shmuley Modes, who's a producer, I was working at Camp Pass with him, and he told me that I should produce a record. And he helped me to do my first song, Long for the Day, which I released in 2016. And he produced that track, and that kickstarted everything for me.
Uh, okay. And who did you sing with and who did you perform with?
Um, well, more recently, I've been doing a program. You should come. And we've been doing it at Aish Kodesh in Woodmere. It's called the Nigun Chabura. And we've been bringing together a bunch of different artists. I've been running it with Rav Yirmi Ginsburg at Aish Kodesh, and we bring together all different artists to come sing together. And so we've had Chaim Guri and Penny Schachter and Yosef Kugler and who else? Aryeh Kunstler came and who else? Shlomo Zamek and Shalom Mordechai Benstein, Benjamin Apsen, who goes by Benjamin on Spotify, Benjamin Werner, who goes by Wern Tati. Um, and then at Camp Hask, I played with I performed with Avram Fried one time. That was fun. And yeah, that's basically it. I mostly play by myself.
Um, we need to hurry this up because my ride is I am almost out of time. We can skip that. Um, what kind of what um where did you perform in your career?
My favorite place that I ever performed was Times Square. I did 3 years in a row. We did a Kumsitz in Times Square. We had about 1,000 people come together, and we did a big concert in Times Square, and it was incredible. That was my favorite place to perform.
Wow. Um um what kind of clientele do you service?
Um, Anyone who wants to be inspired. I love singing for people who want to connect not just with their ears, but also with their hearts.
Um okay. How do you come up with your songs?
I don't write my songs. Hashem writes them for me. I sit down at the piano, I feel inspired, and I start singing and playing, and it just comes out. I wish I could tell you. Like I'll be
Let
in the
let
car. Yeah.
question. What words of inspiration do you have for the world?
Hmm. So many words of inspiration. I would say one of my rabbis, Rav Yeshua Gerzi, likes to say, he said, the most important thing in the world is to live to be of service to another person. That we should all do what we do to be able to help other people live better lives. So whether that's in music, whether it's in art, whether it's with you, what you're doing, Yehuda, with this beautiful initiative, this podcast, to inspire people, you're living to be of service and you're trying to help inspire other people. We should all be able to do things like this and to be able to do what we do to help other people.
I mean, um, do you mind if we do this again? I think, do you mind if we do it again?
We can definitely do it again. Yes.
I
It might have to be a little bit later this year. Because I have a lot going on right now, but Emir Hashem, we can set up a time later in the year.
okay, I think this came out great, but I think it can be a little bit better. I need to run now.
Whatever you need to do. It's so nice to
Uh,
meet you. Wishing you all the best.
you too. Bye.
Colton.